Back in October of 2012, two guys walked into the bank in small town Maynard, Iowa. Maynard's a population of about 600 or 800 people. They walked in there wearing masks over their faces, carrying AK-47 rifles and handguns. They robbed the bank. They left the bank, took off in a vehicle. When they left that bank, a civilian gentleman by the name of Bill Kime actually spotted them. Mr. Kime was part of the fire department in one of the small towns over there, so he had a fire radio with him. He heard the broadcast about the description of the vehicle, and he happened to see it drive by. He started following it, and one of the people that was involved in that car was a guy by the name of Jeremiah Mumford. Mr. Mumford had the driver stop the car. He got out, and he opened up on Mr. Kime's truck with an AK-47, firing multiple rounds into Mr. Kime's vehicle. Now, nobody was going to mistake Mr. Kime's vehicle for an undercover law enforcement vehicle. It's a beat-up, old, red, faded-out looking pickup truck. There's no way that Mr. Mumford thought this was an undercover, unmarked car following him. And he opened up on him with an AK. I can't tell you how many rounds he fired at Mr. Kime. I can tell you how many rounds hit Mr. Kime's vehicle. Okay, he took rounds through the windshield, he took rounds through the hood of the vehicle, he took rounds through the front end of the vehicle, including the bumper. All right, fortunately none of them hit Mr. Kime. But he's fearing for his life. Obviously, he lays down in the seat, slams the truck into reverse, and he's just trying to get out of Dodge. He wants to get out of the kill zone. He's backing through the ditch, running over trees, rocks, and everything else. Again, I can tell you how many rounds hit Mr. Kime's vehicle. I can also tell you how many rounds hit the farm building behind him, how many rounds hit the combine that was inside the farm building that was behind him, and things like that. But I still can't tell you how many shots were fired at him. Once they got tired of shooting at Mr. Kime, or he got out of range, they got back in their car and they took off again. Fayette County deputy, sheriff, gets behind him. So what do you think he's going to do now when the cops get behind him? Starts firing the AK again. Chasing down the road, full speed, firing out the back window, shooting at the cops. Fortunately, that officer, his vehicle was only disabled. Other officers got involved, and other officers were not as lucky. We ended up with, I think we had 8 shot-up squad cars. We ended up with 2 officers that were wounded. One of them was the Sumner, Iowa Police Chief, Dennis Kane.
Let me show you here, just to give.
Amelia has a little bit of.
Let me show you. First thing I'll show you is a dash cam video. It's very dramatic. It's a dash cam video of Chief Kane's car, and it was released to the media. That's the other important thing is, as a media, you can ask agencies to release videos.
Can we find these videos online?
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna. Yes, I will. When I write the assignment, I will